Hey everyone, Tim Streifler here with Divi Life, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to customize Divi Header 2 from the Ultimate Divi Header Layout pack. And so this right here is what it looks like customized to our Divi Interior Designer child theme. However, for this tutorial, we're going to show you how to edit it to the Divi Coffee child theme, which has a very basic menu by default, very basic Divi header that looks like a pretty typical Divi header. And so we're going to be walking you through how to do that. And so just so you know, we're going through the written documentation for the Ultimate Divi Header Layout 2. And so we actually have a really cool visual table of contents here that walks you through exactly how to edit each specific part. So you can basically look and see, okay, how do I change this? And then it'll tell you exactly what step to go to in order to customize that specific part of the header layout pack. So first things first, let's go over to our demo site. So this is the coffee child theme I have loaded up. The first thing we're going to do is come over to the Divi library. So the first step is to import the header layout into the library first. So we're going to go to import. Now, a couple things at this point, you should already have the header layouts downloaded to your computer. Now you can import just the layout that you want to start with and customize, or you can import all of them. Now, to be clear, typically what you want to do is choose the style that is closest to the end result that you want. So for example, we're using header 2. Header 2 comes in multiple different styles, but header 2B is the closest to the end result that we want. So we're going to start with header 2B. However, again, I like to import all of them. That way, if I want to change, I don't have to go back and import it again. I can just have everything right there at my fingertips. And then of course you can go and delete the layouts you're not using later from your library. So we're importing a lot of things, so it's going to take a second. We're importing all the styles. Okay, so now that that's done, it's going to refresh the library page. We're going to see all the layout and styles that we just imported. So we don't actually edit it here in the library though. We're going to go to the theme builder for that. So go on over to the Divi theme builder. And then if you've never used a theme builder, it's awesome. It's what allows us to create custom headers, assign them, create custom archive page templates, custom footers, 404, etc. Really, really powerful. Check out the Elegant Themes documentation that shows you how to use the Elegant Themes Divi theme builder. So for this, we're going to go ahead and just add a global header into the default website template. And so we're using the default website template because we want the global header to be on every page. We want it to be global. However, if you only wanted to use one of our custom header layouts on specific pages or certain types of pages, whether it's blog posts or this or that, well, then you'd create a new template and then set some of the conditions here. But we're going to make it global on every page. So we're going to click there, and then it gives you the option to build a global header from scratch or add from library, but we just imported the library. So obviously we want to add that from the library. So I'm going to go to saved layouts, and I'm going to go to header 2B. And it's going to go ahead and import that. Now I can go ahead and hit save, and I can go ahead and refresh. So here's the default menu. Let's refresh it here. And now there is the header. Now, just to be clear, it's pulling in the menu that I already had defined in my theme, or on my website, I should say. And so if you are on a brand new website, you're going to want to come over to Appearance, Menus, create a new menu, add the pages to the menu, and so forth. I'm skipping that step because I already have it done. And in a lot of cases, our users have that step done as well. However, if it's a brand new site, create the pages, go to Appearance Menu, create the menu, add the pages to the menu. So this is what it looks like. Doesn't look great, doesn't look terrible, but we're going to go ahead and start customizing it. So as I mentioned, we're following the steps that are in the Ultimate Divi Header documentation here. And so we've already imported it, we've already assigned it, and so now we're going to go ahead and start customizing it. So let's go ahead and click that edit button to open up the theme builder. Now, a couple of things I want to make clear is when you edit in the theme builder within the visual builder, it's not going to look exactly right. You can see here, this does not look how it looks here on the front end. And the reason for that is the Visual Builder is not loading our custom CSS and custom JavaScript like it is on the front end of the site. So don't panic if it looks funny. It's going to look off. However, you're going to be able to see kind of basically what's going on. And so for that reason, we recommend doing a lot of your editing in wireframe mode. And that's what we've kind of are showing in the documentation. Wireframe mode makes it really easy to be able to see what you're editing. And so it's not just because we have custom code inside of these ultimate headers, but additionally, the Divi Builder is designed ultimately to be used on pages. And so we're basically condensing that page builder down to be used in a smaller area, smaller real estate. And so it can be a little bit more tricky to navigate and figure out what you're trying to select and so forth. And so it's easier just to kind of see the high level view using wireframe mode to know what you're selecting and to make sure you're opening up the right module. So let's come back here to the documentation. So the first thing we're going to want to do is edit the menu module. And so the menu module here is right here. And so a couple of things. The first thing you want to do is assign your menu. Now, we only have one menu on this site, so it automatically assigned it for us. However, if you have multiple menus, you're going to want to make sure you select the right menu that is here. So that's kind of the first step that you want to do. So now let's actually go and start customizing the styling of the menu. So we're going to open up the design tab in menu settings. And before we do that, I want to say that a lot of what we're doing in terms of the customizing of this layout is no different than just using Divi. So we're not doing anything complicated. These are just the built-in Divi settings that we're customizing to change the colors and that sort of thing. And so you don't necessarily, if you're really experienced with Divi, you don't necessarily need to follow along. You can probably figure this out on your own because it's all built into Divi. However, because there's a lot going on with this layout, we wanted thorough documentation that showed you how to customize each and every part of the layout. So we're going to go ahead and come over here to the design tab to actually start customizing the different parts. So we're not going to touch anything with layouts. We're going to go ahead and come over here to the menu text. So you can see here, that's a color that we don't really want to use in this style. So you can see it's showing the active menu color in that that color, and doesn't really look great. And so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go ahead and grab some colors from here. Now, the default menu uses kind of a gray, so I'm going to go ahead and select that gray. I'm going to use the Chrome inspector to go ahead and find the colors that I want. There's lots of ways to grab colors, and so you don't necessarily have to do it this way, but I'm going to go ahead and find that gray that I like there. Not sure where it's being pulled from. Okay, there it is. So that's the gray that I want. Go ahead and close this for now. So I'm going to go ahead and change that red to the gray. You can see here menu text. Let's go ahead and make that gray. All right. And then, so that's the active link color. So that's what we're seeing right here without doing anything. And then, so then there's also the menu text color. Now that is black and it looks good now. However, I know we're going to be changing this background color to match this brown. And I'm not going to want that black over this brown. So I'm going to actually go ahead and make it white. So I'm going to go ahead and make these black colors white. So I'm going to change that just to white. And then what I'm also going to do is change the hover. So the hover is set to red. I'm going to make that hover that gray color again. So I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to do the same thing for tablet and mobile. Okay, just making sure. Whoops, that got changed. Oops, I just realized I wasn't changing the hover color, so I'm going to change that back. I'm going to change it to white for tablet and phone. Okay, perfect. Now, if we go and save this, we should see it start to take some shape here. Okay, so that's looking the way we want. It doesn't look great yet because we haven't gotten to the step of actually customizing this. I'm actually going to jump ahead of the documentation. And the way the documentation is it kind of systematically takes you through how to change everything. However, I want to change that background color so it's going to start to look better. So I'm going to go ahead and jump down to step 9 as it walks us through how to change that. So step 9, you're going to want to edit the row background colors. And so it's showing you 2 different ways. We show you 2 different things you do to customize the row background color. And the reason for that is there's 2 rows. However, we're only using a background color for the second row. So you could add a background color here and give it kind of a double-decker header type of look. However, we're going to keep it the same vibe. And so we're just going to edit this color here. So we're going to go down to the second row and then customize the background color. So you can see that here's that kind of tan cream color. I'm going to go, and as I mentioned, I want to make it look like this brown. So I'm going to use the Chrome Inspector tool to grab this brown background color. And you can see when I edit this, it has an 85% opacity, which means it's 15% transparent. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to hit save. And that way this will start to take shape. And you can probably predict that we're going to need to change this, which we will here in a second. Awesome. So that's looking pretty good. This black color doesn't look great, so we're going to want to change that. So there's different options we could do. I'm going to go ahead to match this color here. So I'm going to inspect that and grab that color. Change the background color, or copy the background color, I should say. And so let's go ahead and go and do that. So I'm going to come back over here to the steps, and we're going to go back up to the visual navigation. Now I'm kind of jumping around. You can edit in the way you want. The documentation goes in a specific order. However, if you're like me, you kind of like to do things a certain way. I kind of like to do the major stuff first and get it out of the way, then come back and do the finer details. So button, step 5. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. But I also wanted to show you this way in order to demonstrate how to use that visual table of contents in order to find where you need to edit in the page. So step 5, edit the button module. So there's actually a button module here, and that's what controls this right here. That's an actual button module. So we're going to go over here, back to the theme builder, open up that button module, go to design, and click button. We'll start to see those styling here. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that color that I want. And let's look at the button text color is white. We might want that to be more black. Let's go ahead and see how it looks. You can see it's starting to take shape here. It looks pretty good with white, but it almost looks a little hard to read. So I'm going to go ahead and change it to black. Come back over here to the button module, design, button text color black. Let's go ahead and just preview it here. That looks a lot better. It's easier to read. Now, we also have the hover color. And so you saw when I hovered here, it turned to black. I think that's a little bit too drastic of a change. So I'm going to go ahead and just paste in the same color and make it 90% opacity. And then keep the rest the same. Okay, and so the next thing we wanted to do is change the phone number, right? And so there's actually 2 places to customize that. And so again, I'm going to come over here just so we're following along. inside of the visual table of contents with this written documentation. So blurbs is step 4. All right, and so there's 2 different blurbs, right? There's one for mobile, one for desktop. So we'll need to go in and edit those. So we'll edit the bottom one here that's actual for desktop. So you can go in here and you can change the number. Very self-explanatory. But we're going to come over here to the design settings, image and icon. We want to change this to white. All right, let's close that. Come over here to body text. Again, change it to white. And we want to click over to the link tab and change that to white too, because the phone number is a link because it's a click to call. And so we want to change it to white. All right, so that's good there. Now we can see the way that looks. So that's looking good. However, if we click over to mobile, you can see the other blurb with the mobile number doesn't quite look as good. We want it to stand out more. And so I'm going to come over here and do the same changes again to the blurb. Okay, so icon color is white. That's good, great. Go to body text. Oh, you know what? Okay, that's why. We need to change it on mobile. All right, and then go to the link color. Okay, that should look the way we want now. Let's go ahead and refresh that. It's looking pretty good. All right, that's awesome. It's looking great. So we are getting really close. We have the hover colors the way we want. We have the background color. We have this blurb color the way we want. We have this call to action with a very subtle hover effect. However, there's still a couple things we need to do. For example, the logos. This is still using the Divi Header logo. And so coming back over here to the written documentation, let's look at the visual table of contents and see, okay, logo is step 7. All right, let's scroll down to step 7. Change the primary logo. So there's basically 2 places to change that logo. So that's why it specifies desktop widths. So we're going to want to go into here. And so image module shows the logo. So we're going to go ahead and click the Divi Coffee logo. So if you don't have a logo uploaded already to the site, then this would be a good time to do that. And then we're also going to come down here to the menu module and change the logo here as well. And that's the logo that gets used for mobile. Click save, save. Go ahead and refresh this. Awesome. So now it's looking really good. We still need to adjust the padding on the actual page here because it's way too close to this text, but we're going to go ahead and do that last. I want to show you how to edit these links here as well as the social media buttons. So again, we're going to come over here to our visual documentation or our visual table of contents in the written documentation, and social icons is step 8. All right, so we're going to scroll down to step 8. And so step 8, change the social media icon styling. It's going to show you exactly where to do that. Social media follow module. Perfect. And we can go in here and edit the Facebook links and so forth. I'm not going to do that because this is not a real site, but you would add your links. If you wanted to reorder these, if you wanted to trash it, you wanted to add a different one, you could do that. So there's definitely some extra space for more social networks too. So you can play around with those. So that's pretty self-explanatory. So now what we want to do is change these upper secondary links. So again, for the last time, we're going to come up here and look at where to do the secondary menu. So to edit the secondary menu, we're going to do step 6. So let's scroll down to step 6. Might have gone too far. Okay. Here we go. So step 6 is to change the secondary menu, the top row. All right, it's a text module right above the social media follow. Okay, I'm going to close this. All right, I'm going to open up this text module. And so the links are actually just typed in here. And so you can add additional links, edit them, remove them, that sort of thing. And so it's using just a text module with bullet points. So that's pretty self-explanatory, but again, if you wanted to come in here and change, there's not really a hover over this like there is here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that actually. I'm going to come over here and go to design, go into text, go to link, and then turn on hover. I need to go ahead and grab that gray again. All right. All right, now these upper links have a nice hover effect as well. So that is how you edit every part of the header menu. And now last but not least, I do want to go ahead and edit this page. That way I can add some more padding to it and give the header some breathing room here. And so to do that, I'm going to come back into visual mode, or to wireframe mode, I should say. I'm going to the full width header design. Of course, this is going to be unique to your actual website. Not necessarily going to have a full width header module there, but just to kind of show you how this would be done. All right, so let's go ahead and jump that up to 200. That's looking pretty good. I still want a little more breathing room. Let's try 210. That's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and end that there. But looks like I'm going to need some mobile spacing done as well. All right. That is it. However, I am seeing one small tiny thing, and since I'm a perfectionist, I want to fix it, and it's the mobile menu hamburger icon. And so to edit that, we're going to go into the menu module, and we're going to go to design settings, and go over to hamburger menu icon color. I had to remember where it is. And I'm going to go ahead and change that to white. That way it stands out a little bit better. Now I'm going to hit save. I'm going to just make sure this is saved. Exit the Visual Builder. You can see our fully customized Header 2 Ultimate Divi Header Layout is now customized and looking really good. It's now cohesive design with the Divi Coffee child theme. It looks like it was designed to be that way from the start. And so that is how you edit Header 2 using the documentation, the how to customize the ultimate header 2 in the visual table of contents specifically. So we wanted this to be as easy as possible. So use this table of contents. It'll definitely make your editing easy. All right, we'll see you in the next tutorial.